It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Niners and the Vikings. And it's all up next.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Today, two NFC clubs going head-to-head, as it'll be the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Minnesota Vikings. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Before kickoff, Charles, quickly, your keys to the game.
Well, partner, I could give you the standard ones, turnovers, special teams play. But here's one that doesn't get talked about much anymore, and that's time of possession. Whoever controls the football, gives their defense a break, and takes care of business, that's the team that's going to win this ball game.
The ball on the tee, we're set for football. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. This taken in right around the goal line. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
Holding, receiving team.
They were trying to create some space to run. They created the penalty.
And you work on it so much. You work on it so hard. But it's tough to simulate game speed in practice. And that often runs you into a penalty.
And able to find a little space. He gets us up over the 15 to the 16. 5 yards on the game's first play. Second down.
Nice satisfying run on first down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Purdy. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Niners first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, you want to make sure that on an opening drive that you at least stay out there for a while and get into the flow of the game. A 3 and out would have been problematic, but that's a good throw there to ensure they get another set of downs.
Purdy looking to throw on first down here. It returns it right back to Samuel. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it's second down. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
3rd catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a first down. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chain, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
Delay of game. Offense.
You gotta be kidding me. All right, go get him.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
Still first down.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Purdy looking to throw. Got a man right side. It's McCaffrey. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that'll bring up second down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. And we're going to stop play here at least momentarily. It looks like there is a 49er who's in some discomfort. Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. They go play action here. Purdy. He's got his target. That's complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 31-yard line. That good for 19 yards as they pick up the conversion on 3rd. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10, down at the 31. Play action, and now here's Purdy to throw it. Rush coming, and he's taken down. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss. Well, you don't have to be a student of X's and O's to know that right there, that just was the perfect play call defensively.
You're exactly right, because what they did really well, disguised their intentions. They never thought that the corner would come on the blitz, but when he did, that QB was exposed and brought to the ground.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turn around and tossing it to the runner, but where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
And when you're throwing the ball downfield really well like they have been on this drive, it's really a nice time to work one of the screen plays in. One of my favorite play callers in the game has always told me he starts every game with 10 to 12 screens because if he starts feeling the pressure from the defense, he uses their aggressiveness against them.
4th down try. Here's Purdy. Got a man. That's Ayuk. And he is going to have the Niners first down. So quite a call there. They go on 4th and inches and wind up getting 5 yards.
I don't know about you, but I'm going to give them a little bit of credit for fortitude there. 4th and inches, and they don't run the football. Normally you just wedge your way through, fall forward, find the yardage. They took a shot and put it in the air, and it paid off.
Maybe they saw the defense overcommitting.
A lot of confidence there, though, because even if they overcommit, you just...
Touchdown 49ers! Logan Thomas, a 16-yard touchdown. And the 49ers go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points. So they get their tight end away from the line to the outside, and he works his way in for 6.
Tight ends are not just blockers anymore. I don't know how many more times we need examples, but here's a great one. Gets to the outside, they give him the ball pretty quickly, and they trust him to get those extra yards, and boy, did he come through, bullying his way into the end zone after the nice catch.
Moody good with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So here's Moody back out there now to send this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
For every rookie prospect, There are always nerves involved in this moment, running your team out to start a game. But there's a reason they brought him in. We're willing to make him their starter today. They believe he can overcome those nerves and lead his team to a victory. We saw him do it at the collegiate level and really make himself into a leader and someone you can envision doing the exact same thing here in the NFL.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's second down at 7. Looking to throw. McCarthy. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And Jefferson's going to have the Vikings first down as the tackle going to be made up at the 37. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Back to throw. McCarthy. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
And partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
Now a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. McCarthy. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Back to throw again. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. This is taken at the 15. A 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. Back out there comes the 49ers offense, ready for their second drive. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Purdy. Throw left side. McCaffrey's got it. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That one good for 26 and a first down.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a first down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Someone's looking fresh, and this O-line is definitely licking their chops. Everyone likes to run block if you're an offensive lineman. Nice early burst, nice gain too.
2 yards to go, 2nd down. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
A first carry for Elijah Mitchell. Down to about the 37.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
So from the 37, here's a 2nd and 8. Now this time they'll throw it. Here's Purdy. And his His throw is going to be incomplete. I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but maybe circle this play, because if they get the stop and hold them to a field goal here, that's a pretty good job. They're already down on the scoreboard.
A stop now would be vital for them, because it could save them from having to do it multiple times later in the game in order to either get back into it or maybe have a chance to win.
Here's Purdy now on 3rd and goal. Flush to his right. And now they'll stop play here, at least momentarily. A member of the Vikings in some discomfort after that last play. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Up the gut, McCaffrey. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down.
That run wasn't a big breaker, but I don't think the guys on offense mind very much. They've got a nice drive going, and they might just be luring the defense in a little bit. They can probably come back with a play action, maybe go over the top. But right now, on this drive, their playbook is open.
Oh, the motion comes too late, and this is going to be a delay.
Delay of game, offense.
So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty.
Still 2nd down.
Another run with McCaffrey on 2nd down. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. 2 yards gets them back to where they started, but now 3rd and 10. Back to throw, Purdy. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And coming into this ball game, this was an offense that wasn't just talking about the notion of ball control. They were preaching it. They wanted to win the time of possession battle, and they've done so here. This drive's taken up quite a bit of the first quarter. Now they are set up 1st and goal.
They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Christian McCaffrey, a 10-yard touchdown run. And the 49ers have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Another impressive drive, so they're 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns. Charles, a great start to this ball game for them.
And one of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, and not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced a punt to get the ball back, and they've played awfully well in this one. Both sides playing at optimum level.
Moody good with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. So after the made field goal by Moody, he's back out to kick this one away. Ty Chandler now to return it. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They find themselves in a good-size hole here, and a good-size hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football. Second down and 3. As they've got it as we resume action. On the jet sweep, here comes Jefferson. And that is well read there defensively. He was looking to use his speed to get the edge, but they said no way. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a third down. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back. 2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get untracked in this one.
And here's Ryan Wright now as he'll kick it away for the second time. First kick 47. This one looks good as well. Fielded just inside the 30. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. Christian McCaffrey and his 49er teammates back onto the field. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Kevin O'Connell clearly unhappy with that call, and he's thrown that red challenge flag out on the field. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch, because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call.
After review of the play, ruling on the field stays.
So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. Purdy now to throw off the play action. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it'll be second down. McCaffrey running up the middle. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people, because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers, because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
They'll find Ayuk open right side. And he is going to have a 49ers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Purdy's throw pulled in by Kittle. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll make it second down.
4 yards on the pickup. Second and 6 at the Vikings' 26-yard line.
Do your thing with it, man.
Throwing here, Purdy. Oh, and that'll be incomplete. Oh, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. When you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
Purdy with it on 3rd and long. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jerry Tillery running in there and setting him down.
I don't know if he was just working through progressions or just unaware of the pressure, but no matter. Excellent work by the defense to get him to the ground before he could escape the pocket.
On 4th down, the Niners trot out Mitch Wishnowski to punt the football. Brandon Powell deep for Minnesota. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. And the Vikings now heading on to the field. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. Tackle made by Devondre Campbell.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. Looking to throw on 2nd down. McCarthy. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
They go play action here on 1st down. Got a man, that's Trent Sherfield. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Down at the 35, it'll be 2nd down. From the 35, here's a 2nd and 7. Looking to throw. McCarthy. And he's got this to Jefferson. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 15-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
Well, certainly as a fan, you get a little bit nervous when you see him make those kind of throws. But they work on that in practice more than we know. And most of them now know their limits and know what they can get away with, and there's a completion right there.
And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
And that's a great job of tackling right there. If he could have made the first man miss, maybe he could have taken it into the end zone. Instead, they stopped him pretty well right in his tracks, and you often see that in the red zone. Offense has to be quick. In this case, the defense was quicker.
And now a fake on the jet sweep and a give to Jones. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 3rd down, now even tougher. 3rd and 13 after that loss of a yard.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. 4th down now as San Fran's defense was strong in coverage. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD. And it comes on the 3rd drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far, finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back. And that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Purdy now to throw. He'll get this into the hands of Ayuk. So the completion good for 7 there. And now that sets up 3rd and 2. Purdy. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Short yardage situation, you have to wonder if they thought that they were just going to run it inside. But you have to be cognizant of the back slipping out of the backfield trying to find some open space. And that's exactly what he does to the tune of a first down.
Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 49 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Ball on the 39. Here's 2nd down and 3. Purdy will set up to throw it here. Quick hitter here. It's complete. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. Purdy looking to throw. Got a man right side. It's McCaffrey. Touchdown, 49ers. Christian McCaffrey. He scored on the ground and through the air as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
Extra point try now for Moody. And it's 21-3. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it's finished off by a receiving touchdown from Christian McCaffrey. So following the touchdown, here's Moody back out to send it away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Minnesota now ready for their next possession. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3. I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity, because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. To throw again. McCarthy over the middle and complete to Addison. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. The Vikings on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 4. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. And here's Ryan Wright now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Pulled in at the 24. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Out is their quarterback with this offense to take over once more. He already with a couple of touchdown throws in this first half as his guys start 1st and 10. Now Purdy. The throw out wide going to be incomplete.
No sense risking anything there on 1st down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who could make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Purdy over the middle, complete to Samuel. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Looking to throw. Purdy. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Niners 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
Purdy sets up to throw again. And this one nearly picked off. Yeah, kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's 2nd down.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. That ball caught. Brandon Ayuk. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's Purdy. Left side, that's caught by Mitchell. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it's 2nd down.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 23-yard line.
Purdy will look to throw again here. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Back to throw again. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now.
Back-to-back incompletions of what was once a nice drive, stalled out here. I'm going to give credit to the secondary partner. Never gave up as they gave up a few yards, and they came through on that play to deny that pass and force the 4th down.
And this one is right through. And the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's 24-3. So everything else has gone right in this first half. Kind of follows that it would for their kicker, too, as he adds 3 more onto the lead.
Yeah, and the way that this one's gone, definitely not looking like he's going to have to worry too much about pressure kicks late in the game. He can go out there free and easy, just work on his form, and he knocked that one through.
So just 8 ticks remaining here in the first half as they'll kick this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting 49ers on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everyone, to our brand-new studios here in downtown Orlando in the EA Sports Halftime Report. We saw the former All-Pro Christian McCaffrey up to his old tricks in that first half. He found the end zone twice, once on the ground and once in the passing game, as he proved he's anything but a one-dimensional running back.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. Now the Vikings offense set to go to work to begin this third quarter. Well, they look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. McCarthy toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
Even against double coverage, he found enough of an opening for a noticeable gain. 2 guys on him, yet he finds a way to uncover downfield for the completion.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. This one brought in by Jefferson. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. From the 32-yard line now, here's 2nd and 6. They'll look to throw again. And his throw is incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
On third down, McCarthy into double coverage, and it's intercepted. And the Niners are going to get it back here just shy of the 20.
Well, they're certainly in a bad way right now. Not so bad that you can call this one over already, but bad enough that you know you can't toss an interception to open the second half. This just ratchets up the pressure on this team's defense right now.
Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. They had the big halftime lead. Their defense just helped them out further by forcing the turnover, so things are starting to look pretty rosy.
They certainly are, but they've got to be careful about getting complacent, though. They still need to go out and run their offense efficiently.
Purdy's throw taken in by Samuel. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He'll get 17 on that one, and the Niners have a first down.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
Here's Purdy on 1st and 10. Complete to the tight end, Kittle, over the middle of the field. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do, because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
And they'll accept that penalty.
Still second down.
So the delay of game penalty backs them up. It's now 2nd and 7. From the shotgun to McCaffrey. Gets around him. Well, they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. 62 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging into our second half blowout material. Purdy's throw complete here to Ayuk. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. From the 29, here's 2nd down and 2. This is McCaffrey on the give, and he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. They go play action here. Purdy. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. Second and 10. A handoff left. McCaffrey. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. First down, San Francisco. The pickup, 14 yards. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. On second down, McCaffrey. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal. This is a very impressive drive, especially when you consider where they started from to now be set up first and goal.
Yeah, and some nice running right there. That's what got them the first down. But at this point, I suggest open up your playbook. You can call just about what you want.
McCaffrey is in. Touchdown, 49ers. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the first and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
Now Moody for the PAT. And that'll increase their lead to 28. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And the last play on the drive, the touchdown run from Christian McCaffrey. So here's Moody back out there now to send this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
49ers have an extra defensive back on the field, a nickel set for 3rd down. Back to throw. McCarthy. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
And you can tell just by looking at them that this offense is a frustrated unit. Things are really unraveling here, and as a head coach, time to earn your paycheck. You've got to find a way to keep it together as that brings up another 4th down.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. Christian McCaffrey and his 49er teammates back onto the field. So a 6-carry drive the last go-around, touchdown on the end of it. We'll see if they can duplicate that here.
I think that they would like to. I know every runner that we've ever met would love to carry the ball more and more and more. In fact, we keep a ball in the booth just for demonstration purposes.
You're holding it right now.
I'm going to give it to you. Is it heavy? Is it that heavy?
No, it's pretty light.
It's pretty light, right? So keep giving it to him and let him do his work. It's not going to slow him down.
If it's light for me, it's definitely light for him.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. He'll get this up to about the 44.
Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv and you run into a tough crowd.
They'll give it up to McCaffrey. And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45.
It's a gain of a yard, and it's 3rd down.
Now 3rd down and 7. Back to throw, Purdy. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Now, that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Addison hauls it in. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long, but a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 more yards there and another first down.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice gain.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the 3rd quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. He'll drop this underneath for Jones. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
That's a gain of 3. It's 3rd and 7.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. McCarthy. Flushed out right. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
On 3rd down, he obviously wants to throw the football, but there's nowhere to go with it, so he takes off and goes. And now does he get to the first down marker? He blows right past it and picks up big yardage. Partner, that's a great bit of improvisation.
On 1st and 10, McCarthy. And he's got this to Jefferson. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Jones will score. Touchdown, Vikings. He had the option to hand that football off. I think it's safe to say that he made the right decision. That was a heck of a run.
It certainly was, and when you mentioned the option, Most people think the quarterback's not going to keep the ball. You know, in the NFL, that's usually not the recipe for being around too long. So when you do keep it, it often surprises the heck out of a defense.
Extra point forthcoming. And he puts this one through. It makes our score 31-10. So both teams trade touchdowns in the third as we're through 3 quarters of play. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. For the fourth quarter, we'll begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the third quarter. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. And the 49ers getting set to trot out there. Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the fourth quarter, Charles, but you got the football. You're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football. But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
Purdy with it on 3rd and long. Got a man right side. It's McCaffrey. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll bring up 4th down.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Wishnowski on to punt as he sends this one away. Here's Powell on the return. That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. But we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Operating from the gun, McCarthy. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
The Vikings on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And that's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Niners take over in terrific field position. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. It doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
First down, here's Mitchell. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Some teams like to start aggressive to begin a drive, but this is still what you expect to see in normal situations. Just call a simple run, get a few yards to begin the series, and set yourself up for something bigger on second down.
Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7. Purdy. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down. Now Purdy. He's got Ayuk on the sideline. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. On the ground, McCaffrey. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Christian McCaffrey taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Niners have opened up a 4-touchdown lead here in the 4th.
Boy, we talk a lot about Christian McCaffrey and what he can do in the open field, and it's easy to gloss over how tough he can be to stop near the goal line. And he shows you just how tough he is on that carry as he takes it into the end zone.
Extra point try now for Moody. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that drive, 4 plays. And the last play on the drive, the touchdown run from Christian McCaffrey. So after the made field goal by Moody, he's back out to kick this one away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. Throwing to start the drive. McCarthy. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Malik Collins forced his way through, drops him for a loss of 10 yards.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Back to throw. McCarthy. Oh, he had a man running free, but he overshot him, and it's incomplete.
And that is every quarterback's worst nightmare. You had the perfect play call. The C's parted perfectly. You had your guy wide open. He could have run for days, but he overshoots him, and that's one he'll think about for the next month.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That is Nick Bosa from out on the edge who worked his way in for the sack. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has, but in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure.
You know what we need, baby.
And here's Ryan Wright now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return, and out will come the offense as they take over. The 49ers offense making its way back out there. But not that any of the points would be needed, but CD, they've got enough time left here. They can definitely score on this drive, maybe even an ensuing drive as well, if they really want to drive home this landslide victory.
Yeah, we're certainly about to see just how aggressive they want to be here down the stretch. And what some coaches do is they try and meet it halfway, meaning they want to continue to run their offense, but they'll put in a lot of backups to do it and then tell the opposing coach, hey, I had to get them some work too. I can't just let them sit over on the sidelines all the time.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. This is McCaffrey. No gain that time, but it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
Here's Purdy now on 3rd and goal. Connects with Kittle underneath. And they stop him up short of the first down as they get him at about the 43. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
I thought maybe when he caught it, he'd have a good chance of getting that first down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. Throwing to start the drive. McCarthy drops it to Jones in the flat. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down. Looking to throw. McCarthy toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
To throw on 3rd down. McCarthy setting up the screen here. Aaron Jones. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, they've certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter, and he turns it into a big pickup.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And his throw here's incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
Back to throw again. He's got this one complete to Sherfield. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 45-yard line. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Again, he'll drop to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. It'll be a gain of 5, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 39-yard line.
They'll look to throw again. Going underneath, he's got Hawkinson. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Back to throw. McCarthy. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
On first down, McCarthy. Slant route, and he's got Addison. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
At the Niners' 4-yard line.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. Touchdown, Vikings! Justin Jefferson from 4 yards out. And the Vikings get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. Obviously, the scoreboard right now is not the friend of this rookie quarterback, but hey, a touchdown pass there maybe builds a little confidence.
Every rep is valuable when you're a rookie. Every time you step up and throw the football, there's a lesson to be learned. Yeah, he took advantage of a little bit of loose coverage there with the lead, but at the same time, got it done, and it'll take a little bit of satisfaction away from that throw.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the 49er hands team does its job. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that, just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. On first down, this is McCaffrey. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 118 yards rushing for him now to this point.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. And I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Second down and right back to McCaffrey. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be giving a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
So the victory here for San Francisco, and really it looked at times like they just had this one in cruise control out there.
Yeah, they deserve a ton of credit because you and I both know, heck, they knew. But this is a tough place to play. Overcame that with ease, robbed home with an easy win. And here's the best part for them. It'd be easy to get to the airport because the crowd left pretty early in this one, didn't it?
Well, plus they have a police escort.
Okay, you had to spoil that part of it. Of course, they're going to get there. But think about how wide open things are now because this crowd didn't expect this.
No.
So they went back to the tailgate and said, let's go eat. This one isn't any fun for us.
Yeah, they took the drama out of this one pretty early on. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. From Minneapolis, so long, everybody.